I'm Key, a credit card, points and miles enthusiast and travel lover. On my channel, I discuss the mistakes I've made, my future travel goals, and overall credit journey since 2016. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
Like a Fortune 500 company.
Yep.
Why I invited you, Joe. You are also doing a live. I try and catch all your lives when I can, and I watch the replays. But you are also talking about your retirement, and I think you own real estate and things like that, and that's always piqued my interest. So I wanted to invite you to this conversation just for those reasons.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm excited because this is different from what we do.
For sure.
I love that you say pay yourself first. I kid you.
A couple different things. One, it's education. I like reading personal finance books. I like watching personal finance YouTube channels to educate myself. And number two, paying yourself first, in my opinion, means maximizing what I can do before my take-home pay is third, maximizing post-tax everything that's within my control as well. So I'll get into some details. I wrote down some notes. I've never shared this stuff before, so it may be personal, but please feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going to try and be as open and transparent as I can be. But Joe, what does it mean to you? What does pay yourself first mean?
You nailed it. I'm going to be honest with you. My dad was an exterminator at first when I was a kid, and then he was older. When he got older, when I was in high school, he started bus driving. And then they allowed him to match funds in a tax-deferred like annuity, right? So he always took the money out before he got the take-home pay. So you don't see the money, right? So you were earning interest that you didn't see, money you didn't see, right? So that to me was paying yourself first. So you were saving without even knowing you were saving. So you built your life around the money you had after that, right? Then it became, okay, now with the extra money that I have after that, what can I do? And then he bought properties, he bought houses, he invested in different annuities and things like that. And then we would do them together and go over to see what was the newest thing or what was the best thing. And so for me, that's what it became.
Some of these companies or some of the places people may work, they don't have to be huge, right? But they could still probably have a 401k plan. And you may be auto enrolled in that. So that could be one step to paying yourself first. Definitely inquire. Reach out to human resources, reach out to the payroll folks, chat with them, ask them questions. I know I've worked at some pretty large companies where they've had like a Fidelity come in and talk to us and those types of things, but those conversations are free. If you go to like one of the big box Fidelities or Charles Schwab or whom else am I forgetting? Vanguard, the conversations you have are free because ultimately at the end of the day, they want your funds. So it's in their best interest to explain to you how it works because they want you to trust them and do all of that. Affected by you kind of making a 2% or making a 5% contribution to a pre-tax 401k, for example, right? I know there's different types of 401ks and 457s and all that fun stuff, but generically speaking, your pay really doesn't change that much when we're talking about the traditional or the pre-tax versions of any of those types of things. So definitely take a look.
And the thing is that you hit it on the head. It's not, we think that, okay, I'm giving 2% of my salary. Depending on what you make, that could be $50, but then it's pre-tax, so you don't even see it in your check, so, but then that's money that's just getting that interest. And at the end, remember, you got to play the long game. Mm-hmm. And I'll give
quick is one, if you make a mistake, like especially with a 401k, or I'll just say a 457 or 403b or any of these types of funds, you have 60 days to reverse it like it never happened. So I say that to say, like, I know of people that have used it kind of like an emergency fund. I don't recommend that at all. But right, if you make maybe a rash decision, you're like, shit, I want to pay off my house today, and you kind of start slowly peeling back the onion, or you listen to Joe's story and maybe it kind of sparks you to be like, maybe I need to undo that. You can within 60 days, not 60 business days. 60.
Real, we just say it straight up how it got us, and we just hope that it resonates to a point that people are willing to just, lower their guard down and ask for help if they're not sure of something.
15th of every month, or roughly around those days. So my paycheck is pretty much broken into 3 different sections. Number 1, taxes. It is what it is. I have both state taxes, federal taxes. I have lived in states where there was no income tax. I do miss that. I won't lie. I do miss that. Something, I consider, right? If I was ever to move, I'd probably consider a handful of those states that don't have income taxes for sure. The fifth section is deductions. Some of these are pre-tax. So 401k, I do both pre-tax and Roth, which means after-tax contributions there. A health savings account, which is a triple tax advantage. We could talk what that means a little bit here, but basically I take a small portion of the funds, I leave it in cash, the rest I invest. And if I ever need it, right, I can kind of uninvest from that. I pay for medical insurance, dental, and vision, and I have a family plan. If I was a single person, I wouldn't have to pay for that at the company I'm currently at, but it's more advantageous and my healthcare is better than my significant others. So for me, it just makes sense to do the family plan, and we're kind of both covered under a pretty decent coverage in my opinion. And then take home.